gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yo, welcome back to the Blue Lounge. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all doing well. Today, we are going to be discussing the transfer market, lads. The transfer window. Yeah, I know. Big hype. There's a lot happening right now. I know a lot of you guys are feeling a little bit disheartened at the fact that all the news that's been coming out has been recycled. No real major updates. However, we are about to enter the final week of the transfer window. And this is when things get real. This is when things really start to get serious. We have got a massive update from Fabrizio Romano, which I will be sharing with you very, very shortly. It's a video clip with a lot of information. He discusses outgoings as well as the potential incomings. We will be discussing all of that on tonight's show. Big up to everyone who's jumping on. We have got nearly 30 of you in the stream already. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to ask you for a massive favor, and that is to start the stream by smashing the like button. Comment down below. Your comments make a massive difference to the stream. All your interaction is fantastic and really appreciated. Before I say hello to the panel, I want to ask you also to do me one massive favor. I am starting off my membership scheme again. I have already introduced 5 new emojis. You might see them in the pinned comment. If you guys want to use those emojis, join the membership program. Okay, it's not a lot. It's the price of a cup of coffee. It's actually cheaper than the price of a cup of coffee. It's £2.99. So if you guys are happy to do that, I'd really, really appreciate it. Support the channel by becoming a member on the Blue Lounge. Let me say hello to my panelists. Let's start with Sadiq. Sadiq, welcome back to the show. How are you? How you doing, brother?
Good intro. Thanks for having me on. Always excited to talk about transfer news, even though it's not been as exciting. But as you said, the next 7 days is going to be hectic. I'm sure everyone here will be doing amazing content, whether it's videos or streams or collabs. So yeah, everyone needs to stick to it and listen to us, the best. So yeah.
Hey, listen, we are the number one. We are the OGs. We are the OGs. A lot of new faces, a lot of new YouTubers, a lot of new content creators, which we have to take our hats off to and say welcome. One of them is Kai. Kai, big up to you, my brother. How you doing?
Yeah, doing good, man. Doing good. I think, this week is going to be hectic. I think it's going to be news pretty much every single day. So I'm looking forward to it. Be nice to cover something new for a change. Last 2 weeks been the same drip and drab coming through all the time.
100%. We have got a lot of clarification from Fabrizio Romano today. So a lot of things will be made very clear in the clip that we're about to play. So guys, make sure you stick around for that. I see DJ Sav in the chat. I see Michael and I see Daniel Knight. Big up to all 3 of you. Big up to all of you joining the stream. And I got to say, and I know this is the same for Sadiq on Worldwide Chills, but DJ Sam is one of the oldest members of on the channel. He's been with us, I think, coming to 3 years now as a channel member. So big up to DJ, and I know he's been like 4 or 5 years with Sadiq. So big up to him.
Big up to him, man.
Right, yeah, no, DJ is committed. You have to say that DJ is committed, and hopefully one of these days he'll jump on with us on the stream. Let's not forget the one and only Nizayon from Blue Clouds Media. Big up to you, my brother. How you doing?
One of my favorites, man.
One of the favorites.
Greetings to everyone out there. Thank you very much, Mo, and thank you very much, wonderful panel, for sharing the stream with me. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. Blue Clouds Media, committed to streams 24/7. I love his content, and he always gives his streams a lot of information, a lot of detail. 2-3 hour marathon streams. So big up to you, Nee, and big up to the commitment you're showing to the Chelsea community. All right, lads, let's not delay this any further. Let's bring in Fabrizio Romano and listen to what he has to say, and then we will all discuss the latest information. And guys, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you get them likes up as quickly as possible. Earlier likes are more essential for the stream. All right, let's have a look at Fabrizio Romano. And lads, when I play this, let me know if you can hear it in the stream. We can hear it here, but we're not sure if you guys can hear it. So please let me know if you can hear it. Okay. All right, let me put the volume up.
It's going to be a big movement, I think, in the next days.
So he's talking about Nicholas Jackson.
One name I want to mention is Nicholas Jackson. For Nicholas Jackson, there is going to be a big movement, I think, in the next days. Because, obviously we have the situation of Alexander Isak at Liverpool, but in that case, I keep repeating that depends on Newcastle. If Newcastle call and say, okay, we are ready, we can sell the player, Liverpool will be ready to close the deal. So this completely depends on Newcastle. But with the game on Monday, I don't expect any news imminent on this Sunday or Monday morning, afternoon. Then what's important to mention is that Nicholas Jackson is probably after Isak, the other top striker available on the market, with many clubs really interested. Aston Villa called, Bayern called also several times in the recent hours. Could be an option for Newcastle for the striker position. So I think Nicholas Jackson is going to be a really interesting name to watch in this final week of the transfer window, especially because the player is ready to go and especially because Chelsea are open to his exit. And so I think this is going to be a big story to follow. Nkunku and Jackson, that's 100% cap.
Just gonna pause it there for a second. Nicholas Jackson situation, lads. How do you feel about it? Are you guys pro this whole Nicholas Jackson departing? Because striker wise, are we set? What do you guys think?
I think that putting Nico as a striker is always not going to work for Chelsea, but adding him to the squad, I think he's a good player, and I rate Nicholas Jackson very, very high. Even I would say if you take the goals away from there, I know people not agree with me. Some will not agree with me that I'm saying if you take the goals away from there, Jackson is better than Erling Haaland. To be honest with you, as raw as he is, Nicholas Jackson, when he came from Senegal before he met Unai Emery, he doesn't know anything how to play football. He just run around with dudes, just mess with the football. But Unai Emery is one, as he said himself in an interview, he taught him how to run around on the pitch, how to do too many things on the pitch. And I felt like Nicholas Jackson hasn't hit where he's supposed to hit as a top player yet. Even with what we've seen so far with Chelsea, he hasn't hit. And I wanted him to stay at the football club. But to me, from how things are looking right now with Delap and João Pedro, it looks like in the picking order, they are ahead of Nicholas Jackson right now. There's no choice but then send him out to the football club. But besides that, I think in the next 2 years' time, we will see that we throw talent away at a very, very tender age. We saw what he did to England when the Senegal came to Wembley to play the national team. We saw it, and I feel very bad he's going, but I don't see him to be. I don't like him to be on the bench to be, third choice to Delap and João Pedro. So yeah, it's a talent that we're missing.
Okay. All right. So, in regards to the whole Aston Villa links, Newcastle links, selling him to a club in the Premier League, would you guys be happy about that?
No.
The problem is, the Premier League is the league that's going to have the money. I don't see the German league spending the money that we want on him. It's going to be a loan if it's going to be to Germany. Personally, that's why I think the Premier League is going to be the only place that is going to be able to afford between 60 to 80 million. And even at that, I don't think Aston Villa can afford that. So the only team really would be Newcastle, and that's only going to be if they sell Isak. And at the moment, that move is sort of stalled. So yeah, I mean, I'd like to keep Jackson. I think especially if Maresca's going to go down the line of playing both Liam Delap and João Pedro at the pitch at the same time, because then we've got no strikers on the bench. So if one of them picks up an injury, we're going to be, left with one striker. But I also have to admit, I don't think Nicholas Jackson is a striker. I think he's a winger that has been adopted to a striker, but he doesn't have the striking finish. He doesn't have the technical ability in finishing to be a striker. He is a winger. And I think if we were to shift him out on the left wing, we'd probably see a better player. I don't think that's going to happen. So for me, if we can get the money that they're asking for, then fair enough. But I do think we would need a third choice striker at some point, because I think when we get into the Christmas period, when we've got a lot of games, it could be a problem. I know, but we've obviously got the likes of Shimaweka that potentially could come up. But again, you're then asking a really young player to try and fill the boots of a top club, which is going to be a problem. So we'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Go on, Sadiq, go on here.
Yeah, so it's a weird one. I'm a bit worried that it's taken quite a while, if I'm being honest. And the more longer it takes, the more desperate Chelsea will get, and most likely we'll have to take a lower offer, because I don't know how serious these rules are. Because the last 48, 72 hours of FC, we've been seeing that UEFA come up with these rules, comparing it from the Conference League knockout stages. Squad costs have to be higher than what we've spent, right? This is what I've been reading. CFC Daily, CFC PYS. Apparently, Daily Mail have spoken to UEFA auditors and all this stuff, which is why Nkunku, Jackson need to leave. We've only sold Madueke and also Drewsbury Hall. So the likes of João Felix and all these guys don't count to this figures, which is why Chelsea are pushing for these two players to be leaving. So it is worrying. I do think Nkunku will end up going to Villa. I do think he will go. As Kai
You
said,
think with Jackson?
I think Nkunku will go Villa.
Villa?
Yeah. I think because Villa are basically saying they can't afford Jackson. That's literally what they're saying. So I think they'll go for Nkunku. The Jackson one, I don't know. I think it has to be a loan with obligation, and that will probably push it through or something. I don't know. It is a weird time. It's taken too long.
I think Fabrice is about to touch on Nkunku, and I think you're right with that assessment, Sadiq. Let's hear the rest of this clip.
Jackson, that's 100% guaranteed, and for Kunku also many opportunities, because Bayern spent the whole week trying to reach an agreement with Chelsea, but the player is on the formula. The player knows that the formula is going to be crucial, and at the moment Bayern are only offering a loan deal for Nkunku. Chelsea want a permanent transfer, similar to Leipzig. Leipzig are also interested in bringing back Nkunku, but Leipzig want a loan, and the request from Chelsea is a permanent transfer. So keep an eye also on English clubs for Nkunku, because there was a call from Aston Villa in the last 24 hours to ask for conditions of the deal for Kunku. Aston Villa have several options on their list. Nicolas Jackson is the dream target for Unai Emery. They were together at Villarreal, but it's obviously financially difficult, and with
don't know why it's frozen. Hold on.
No, guys, it's frozen.
At Villarreal, but it's obviously financially difficult, and with many clubs in the race. Interested in bringing back Kunku, but Leipzig want a loan, and the request from Chelsea is a permanent transfer. So keep an eye also on English clubs for Kunku, because there was a call from Aston Villa in the last 24 hours to ask for conditions of the deal for Kunku. Aston Villa have several options on their list. Nicolas Jackson is the dream target for Unai Emery. They were to get a loan, and the request from Chelsea is a permanent transfer. So keep an eye also on English clubs for Kunku, because there was a call from Aston Villa in the last 24 hours to ask for conditions of the deal for Kunku. Aston Villa have several options on their list. Nicolas Jackson is the dream target for Unai Emery. They were together at Villarreal, but it's obviously financially difficult, and with many clubs in the race. Now also interested in Kunku, and then there is Marco Asensio, who is out of contract in 1 year at Paris Saint-Germain, who did very well at Aston Villa on loan, and remains an option on the list of Aston Villa for the new attacking position reinforcement they want to do before the deadline day. I still expect Xavi Simons to go to Chelsea if everything goes to plan. So the exit of Kunku, as always, we spent almost 1 month and a half repeating that the exit of Kunku is needed in order for Xavi Simons to go to Chelsea. But that deal remains strongly likely, also because the player wants to go to Chelsea, has an agreement with Chelsea. Chelsea are in regular contact with Leipzig. I can reveal to you, as an insight, that Tottenham made an inquiry in the last days for the situation of Xavi Simons, even before there was the Eze surprise.
Yeah, this was the bit that I wanted you guys to react to. Tottenham Hotspur have actually approached for Xavi Simons. This is the second time they've done it in 2 weeks. Apparently, they made an approach earlier in this weekend. I think it was Friday. They made the approach. So put a note down there somewhere, guys, because we are gonna come back to Tottenham. Let's finish this video before it starts to stall again.
Was the Eze surprise. They were trying to understand the situation of Xavi Simons. Then they went all in for Eze. And then, with Eze going to Arsenal, one of the players they tried to check as a possibility for the number 10 position is Xavi Simons. At the moment, again, Xavi maintains his position. He wants to go to Chelsea, and this is the expectation. But I can guarantee that Tottenham made some call for Xavi Simons. But at the moment, the destination is very clear, and it's Stamford Bridge. Saying since July here on our podcast that I see Garnacho joining Chelsea, and I can guarantee that also in the last 24, 48 hours, the messages coming from Chelsea to those close to Alejandro Garnacho have been very positive. Stay patient, wait, but this deal will happen. So my expectation is for Garnacho to be a Chelsea player before the end of the transfer window, to be at Stamford Bridge by the end of deadline day. Let's see what's going to happen if over the week, on deadline day or whenever. But I see Garnacho being a new Chelsea player before the end of the transfer window. And for Xavi Simons, also very good chances. In this case, obviously, Xavi Simons was playing with Leipzig, while Garnacho is completely out of the project at Manchester United, so it's probably easier to reach an agreement. But also with Xavi Simons, Chelsea are proceeding. So both players are very confident to join Chelsea. For Garnacho, I keep saying that I see this deal happening for sure this summer.
All right, fantastic. Let's remove that, and let me just adjust the screen.
It's my favorite layout, man.
I think it too. It's better you stretch yourself to outline with us. Go that way.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna bring you guys closer if I'm able to move it. Let's have a look.
If you can, because I think this is the best layout, if possible. If not, we'll be right back.
I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I like this better. If you can
like
stretch
them together, you can't put them together.
The wide angle gives you the whole. Yeah, it doesn't cut anything off.
I'm trying to just nah. All right, let's just leave it. Let's leave it like that for a minute. Do you know what? I'll bring myself closer to you guys.
Yay!
Make yours wider if you can.
No, I'll just do this. How's that?
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. And I'm gonna expand the chat so they don't feel like I'm neglecting them. There we go. If you guys want a tutorial, join the membership program and I'll show you how to do all this. All right,
that's good, man. That's good.
That'll do. All right. So this is a makeshift layout just for tonight because we have got 3 panelists. When we get 4 panelists, I'll have to revert to the other one. But yeah, guys, so Garnacho 100% coming to Chelsea. No debate, no doubt in Fabrizio Romano's mind. But I'm getting hesitation. You know, I mean, me and Sadiq, we did a video about this, a few weeks ago, and it is something that is brewing under the covers, man. If I can use that terminology, the whole Xavi Simons deal doesn't look as solid or as secure as the whole Garnacho deal. Do you guys think that this is going to collapse? Because we started by talking about Nicholas Jackson and Nkunku. Nkunku, his deal is crucial for Xavi Simons because Chelsea will not bring in Xavi Simons while we still have Nkunku. Chelsea do not want to loan out Nkunku. Right now, the majority of the talks have been loan deals, especially from the German clubs. Aston Villa can't afford Nkunku. They can't afford Nicholas Jackson. If we get rid of Nkunku, Xavi Simons comes to the door. How do you guys feel about this? Do you guys think this week coming we are going to see two incomings or just the one?
There's one thing worrying about all this, guys. He's very keen on the Nkunku deal going ahead for Xavi Simons. The Jackson one doesn't sound too convincing, if you know what I mean. And also, the Simons one was 70 to 75 to 85, and then we're going back and forth. And the Garnacho deal as well, he's obviously telling us, Chelsea are telling close to him to wait. They must be waiting for a deal to go down in terms of value. United are up here, we're down here. They need to come down, basically, because they don't want him in the squad. So maybe, I'm not even sure about that one either. Generally, I don't know. The Nkunku one does seem like it will go through, but the Jackson one, I thought would be more important because of the value, right? Nkunku's value isn't that high. So that's why the maths ain't adding for me unless there's someone else that's going to be leaving the squad.
I don't think it's a financial thing, Sadiq. I think with Nkunku, it's literally the squad size. Nkunku goes out, Xavi comes in, an attacker for an attacker. I think that is the whole thinking behind it. And I think we don't have to sell Nkunku to bring in Xavi Simons. But I think the way that the club is thinking right now is Xavi Simons staying, Nkunku staying, Xavi Simons coming in would make it harder for us to sell Nkunku for the price that we want, purely for the fact that we are overstocked. If we have Nkunku sold before Xavi Simons comes in, we might be able to have more of power negotiating. I don't think it's a financial thing. I think financially we are okay in regards to outgoings and incomings for this transfer window.
Did you see that UEFA notice?
I haven't yet. No, I'm gonna
Because
look into it.
they're basically saying the Conference League knockout stages onwards, that squad that was registered, those costs that have left against the new costs that are coming in, like Xavi Simons or Hato, for example, have to be equal because of the conditions that took place in the past with the FFP fines and all that stuff. So this news had come out 3 days ago, literally, and that's why I put a video out saying they're pushing for Jackson and Nkunku to leave for that reason, because we've spent Gittins, João Pedro, Hato, we spent a lot more. And obviously, you guys will say Carney, João Felix, Dewsbury Hall, these guys, but some of them weren't in that squad.
Sadiq, but that doesn't make any sense. I mean, financially, what if a player was on his last year of his contract and he leaves on a free? How then that is going to impact the sales, the outgoings and incomings for that particular club. So there's got to be more behind it in regards to the way they calculate it. Because, just looking at it from that standpoint, it looks it looks like it's discriminating against teams who may have certain contract situations with their players. So it's something that we need to look into. But I think UEFA is really making things complicated in the wrong way. If they're trying to control, transfer fees and whatnot, there's other ways to do it, and this isn't one of them. I can see Kai wanting to jump in, so I'll hand over to him. No, you're good. I seen you.
It was just. I think the only deal I think might not go through is the Simmons one. I think there's too much reliant on it for it to be done. I think the Garnacho deal gets done whether we sell Jackson or Nkunku, basically because he's in a position that we need backup for. Like, he's on the left-hand side. There's been talks of George potentially going now as well on a loan or a permanent. So we're only going to have one left winger where you've got Esteval, Palmer, João Pedro that can all play in the 10. So unless we shift on Nkunku, I don't see how the Xavi Simons deal will be done, which is disappointing. And again, if it's about trimming down the squad to allow new players come in, well, if that's the case, we're going to miss out on a lot of players because of that, because we've got a massive squad. So I don't know. I'm not. The more it goes on, the less likely I think it's going to be done. I think it's going to be very difficult to offload Jackson. I think if anything, he'll be alone. I don't see him being sold. I don't think anyone is going to be able to afford the price that we want. Even if someone came in at 50, I don't think we would take it. I think the minimum that we would probably take in this is going to be 60 million for Jackson. And I don't see anyone paying it, to be honest. Unless, like I said, Isak goes to Liverpool and Newcastle are desperately in need of a striker, they will probably pay 60 to 65 million. But I don't see Isak going to Liverpool at the moment either.
The way that Fabrizio Romano is talking, it seems like Nicholas Jackson will be going, purely for the fact of the amount of clubs that are interested in him. However, I'm under the impression that Nkunku is the easier transfer to make at the moment. But let's just put it out there.
But if he goes on,
worst case scenario, Nicholas Jackson and Nkunku don't get sold.
Yeah.
Will Chelsea still bring in Xavi Simons?
No. But what if they go on loan? So say we loan both Nicholas Jackson and Nkunku. We haven't brought in any money, so that's the whole thing. We need to make sales in order to bring Simons in. If we end up loaning both players, we're not making the money. So how are they going to bring him in?
Unless the obligation. unless
That's what they're
obligation. Also, from what I understand, there's a big a big loan fee for Nicholas Jackson. I think it's 10 million minimum for Nicholas Jackson too. So money will be coming in, but is it substantial enough? Is the deals that we've made with Renato, selling Renato Vega, Chukwuemeka, are these going to compensate? Is it enough? I don't know.
Just one thing as well, guys.
It,
Just one thing as well before you guys carry on. Sorry. The point I was talking about UEFA was more of the new players being banned in the Champions League if we do not sell from that current squad in the Conference League. So that's the point. I just looked at it again. So Daily Mail have put a paywall on it now. You have to pay like £1 a seat or something. But they've got confirmation from UEFA auditors that the Conference League squad from the knockout stages costs that have left have to be matched against the players that have come in. So that's why I only count Madueke, Drewsbury Hall at the moment. There's no João Felix. There's no, your Ben Chilwells, your Sterlings, and all these guys leaving. That doesn't count. That's why I'm a bit confused in terms of how serious this is. But it does say here now, Chelsea's race against time to sell up or risk signings being banned. It literally says it on the article right now that I'm reading. So that's why I'm sure in the next couple of days, couple of weeks, it will come very clear of how serious this is once we've seen what's happened, of course. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. Keep an eye on it. That's what I'm going to say, guys.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Garnacho, 100% coming in. Fabrizio Romano, literally, he will pay the transfer fee just to get him into Chelsea at the moment.
He's a big fan of him. He's a big fan of him.
Yeah, I love Alejandro Garnacho. I don't have any relationship with him, but from the way things are going, the reason why I see Garnacho move to Chelsea is the easiest of all is, look, there's a player that has, has bent his bridges with Manchester United Football Club. He doesn't have a good relationship with the whole entire hierarchy. He doesn't have any relationship with the current manager and the whole training board. It's like he is on his own right now. Garnacho, Man United cannot afford. Jim Ratcliffe is cutting down every money that is going down the drain. He's cutting everything down. And Alejandro Garnacho is one of them. Those are the money that he wants to get rid of to be able to keep. They cannot afford to keep Garnacho on their books for him to sit on the bench the whole entire season and not playing, because Amorim doesn't want to have anything to do with him. He doesn't want to play him. So in that case, we got how many more? 6 more days. 7 more days to go. Is it Monday?
Nearly
Monday. So at this, as closer as the window goes, and if Garnacho is still sitting there, hasn't got a football club, and Chelsea say, hey, we'll give you 25, we'll give you 20, Man United will take that money, 25 million, to save the football club and let Alejandro Garnacho go. Instead of him being the football club, because no one wants him. When a player come out and say, I don't want any football club, I want Chelsea Football Club, and they've seen that Chelsea are showing that interest in him, what can they do to give it to Chelsea for a fee of 20 or 25 million?
Tottenham wanted him as well.
Tottenham. Yeah. I heard that one a few days ago. So I feel like his interest is more in Chelsea.
Yeah.
I know the other clubs will count me, but he said, I want to play for Chelsea. I want to go to Chelsea. So Chelsea is in the driving seat at this moment with Alejandro Garnacho deal. And I feel like when Chelsea threw that money there, hey, United, 20 million, give us Garnacho. Good player to me. I think he'll work for Chelsea.
I think one of the things that probably could give you a little bit of positivity in both the Garnacho and Xavi Simons deal is the fact that they have turned down every other club. Now you don't do that if there's any bit of doubt creeping in that you're not going to sign for Chelsea. You're not going to burn all your bridges for every other club. And they have both consistently, every club that's come in, whether it's Bayern Munich, whatever, they've said, no, we're going to Chelsea. So there must be something that they know that this is going to happen. That's the only positive you take.
After the game, Xavi Simons clapping to the fans. Bye-bye. He's done.
Yeah.
Literally.
So there must be something, you know.
I think we've got to relax. That's what it is.
Yeah. It's a long week.
Do you know what, lads? I think the fact that we're getting so many updates on a daily basis, if we don't get an update for one day, we're thinking, oh no, this is going pear shaped, it's not happening. Da, 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 da. Back in the day, we never had these updates 24/7. Yeah, we literally find out. Okay, Chelsea are interested. They've discussed. They've signed. That's it. Three updates in a matter of 6 weeks. Then we know what's happened. Now, because we're having all this information, and to be fair, these journalists, Johnny Mills would say, brown envelope merchants. These the. Do you know what? The way that they are trying to hype up the transfer market, the way they are trying to push their own narratives, their own agendas upon us, is causing people to have mental health challenges. Seriously, it's causing people problems. I mean, it's not a joke. It's causing people problems. There's people out there that are waiting, for every little tweet, every little update, and it's causing them issues. Like,
They spam.
If we don't get Xavi Simons, lads, it is not the end of the world. If we don't get Garnacho, it is not the end of the world. We have got a fantastic squad right now. We have got a fantastic. I mean, if it was up to me right now, I would focus on getting a centre back from Maresca. That's what I would do. I'm not complaining. If Xavi Simons comes in, listen, I'll be over the moon. Garnacho, the same. But what would really make my day is for a top-class centre-back to come in that can play the role that Maresca is asking for. That is what I'm interested in. That isn't going to happen. We haven't heard anything about that. You never know. Last day of the transfer window, anything can happen. But as it stands right now, I think Garnacho, Xavi Simons coming in or not coming in is not the end of the world. I actually think it's more problematic not selling Nkunku or Jackson, purely for the fact that having them in the squad and them not being integrated into the team, that could cause us issues. That, for me, is more of a concern.
More regards to when you said about PTSD with so many news out there. This is how I take it. The journalists are trying to create a competition into the transfer news. Who is more accredited? Who is getting the news out there? We all know back in the days we used to rely on BBC or Sky Sports to get the news on who is coming in. But now, individual freelance journalists like the likes of Fabrizio Romano, who is more related to sports journalism, and Ben Jacob, Rudy Gullit, then this guy from Sky, is it Sky Germany?
Netherlands.
These four guys are creating a very hefty competition among themselves. Want to be the top guys out there challenging Fabrizio Romano, trying to tell Fab, if you get it, we also get it. But just that we want to keep our news, our sources in the low key. But now they are getting it out there. Now it looks like this transfer window is more of Ben Jacob and Fabrizio Romano, who is going. But not to forget, Einstein is still there. Einstein is like, when I put it there, it's not going to be it's not going to be 50-50. Most of the time, it's 90% or 100% done. You get what I'm saying? But Ben Jacob, I don't know what he's. I know he was more of a Saudi Pro League journalist guy, but now he's also pushing it. The more they do that, the more they get jobs. So yeah, you see, Ben Jacob is on TalkSports.
Have you seen his history?
Then he's here. He's there. So yeah, what was that?
Have you guys seen Ben Jacobs' history?
History? Yeah, I've heard something.
Yeah. You've seen it. Cool. I won't say his in case.
Yeah, I have.
Elaborate a little bit. I'm intrigued. Elaborate a little bit.
He was accused of something in his job and was sacked. BBC back in when was it? When was it? I think 2005, 2008. Can't remember exactly. I didn't even know about it. I saw someone.
I didn't know at that time, but I heard this a year ago.
I saw it the other day. Someone tweeted it. I read it. I was like, wow! Like he got accused of something, and they got rid. I don't know if it's true or not. Allegedly, I don't know if it's true.
I mean,
there was some fair, nakedness and all that in there.
I'm going to say this. I'm not going to go into what he did. However, being sacked by the BBC 9 times out of 10 is a badge of honor.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Gary Lineker, I respect you. Gary Lineker, I respect you. So
Yeah.
getting sacked by the BBC is a badge of honor, and if you know, you know. If you know, you know. All right. So let's just.
What about Jermaine?
You see that?
Is it Jermaine Pitford, whatever they call him? Tottenham Hotspur's guy that was being sacked from BBC too.
All right. Let's get back to the transfer window. Let's get back to the transfer window. Yeah. No. I big up to Aiden. I see you. Big up. I need to learn how to pronounce this. Gangalamu. Big up to you. Bear support, bear comments, bear respect to you, mate. Bear respect to you, guys. Smash that like button. Support the stream. Support the channel. I want to see your comments in there. Even if you just just say hello. Let me know you're there. Let me just say hello. That is more than enough. And if you got enough to spend on a membership, go right ahead. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, seriously, because I'm only able to put 5 emojis at the moment. If I got more members, I could put more emojis for you guys to look at. But yeah, the emojis in the pinned comment. If you want to use them, just join that membership and have access to them. All right, so I want to address this. Who is more important for you guys right now to get through that door? Garnacho or Xavi Simons? If you can only choose one, and why? In the comments, let me know. I'm asking the panelists, but in the comments, let me know. If you can only get one through the door, Xavi Simons or Garnacho, who and why? I'm going to leave Neat to the end because I know what he's going to say. We'll start from the bottom. Kai, take it away, mate.
I would say Simons because he can play in both positions. He can play in the 10 and he can play on the left, which Garnacho can't. I think he will also provide another dimension when attacking low blocks, which we desperately need. We need somebody that can be a little bit more creative when we're playing against low blocks to take a little bit of the pressure of Cole Palmer. We know that Cole Palmer is going to get man-marked in every single game for the entirety of his career. That people have clocked onto it now, and we can sit here and go, he's got to be good enough to break the bonds that the people are putting on him. But if we can add another dimension, another player to make teams think about, it will free him up in dangerous spaces. And as I said, with Simons, he can play on the left wing too. So we then add another dimension to the left wing, another player similar to probably what Sancho was on the wing. Personally, I think Simons would be the best rate to go. I know people have a problem with him because he's coming from the German league, but he's played in a lot of other leagues too, and he's done it there as well. So I think he would be the best option for us if I could bring in one.
Before I move to Sadiq, don't you think Xavi Simons is of the same model of Nkunku, Havertz, Timo Werner? Do you think so, Kai?
I wouldn't say Werner. Havertz maybe. Nkunku definitely, but Nkunku again, he's more of a shadow striker. Xavi Simons is not. He is a 10. So I would say he's more in.
Just to clarify, Kai, I didn't mean as a player, as in the mold, as in Bundesliga, that level of experience, that level of the hype that we had around Timo Werner, Nkunku, and Havertz. When they came in, they didn't fulfill it. They still haven't fulfilled it. They've been in the Premier League for a while. I'm just getting
the problem is
vibes there.
It's the gamble that you are going to take with any player coming into, even players that are Premier League proven. We can go out and buy a 22-year-old plays the same position, same build. There's no guarantee that he's going to walk into the squad and play well. So it is a gamble regardless of the way you take it. You look at his stats, what he's done in this league and all the other leagues. You look at what he's still producing and what he could potentially bring to the squad. And then for me, I think he will provide more than what we expected in Nkunku. I think Nkunku was one of those where we looked at his goal scoring ability. I mean, he was I think in his last season there, he was top scorer in the Bundesliga, wasn't he? When he come over. Yeah. And at that time, we were desperately in need of a goal scorer. We're not looking at Xavi Simons being that player. We're looking for a creative player, and I think he's probably more in line with Kai Havertz, because I think that's what we brought Kai Havertz in, to be that creative kind of influence, where Nkunku was brought in more to be a goal scorer.
All right, fair enough. Sadiq, Garnacho, Xavi Simons. Who would you take if you only could take one?
After seeing the first 2 games, probably Garnacho. I think the winger situation is quite. I know Kai's obviously saying Xavi Simons can play on the left as well. But I can't explain it. Like, Tyreek George wasn't in the squad. I think he wasn't in the squad for West Ham. The lack of wingers just seemed more. Obviously, it was 5-1. I get it, guys. But when it was 1-0 and 1-1, and they scored a goal that was chalked off by VAR, I'm sure you guys had a little bit of, cautious feeling. And I think we'll see it against the Fulham game. Early kickoff. You guys will probably ask for that winger. And don't get me wrong, I prefer Xavi Simons over Garnacho any day of the week, regardless, without a doubt. But there's something wrong with this winger situation, guys. I just feel like players look leggy, tired already. I don't know. Pedro Neto for me just looked finished for the Palace game. He was done. I'm telling you, he wasn't tracking back. He just didn't look it, in my opinion. And that's my worry. So yeah, winger's more needed in my opinion. But yeah, obviously Xavi Simons would be a lot nicer for sure. He can play multiple positions, but I think a winger is very, very important right now. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna head out now. Mo, appreciate you having me on as always. Big up Nee and Kai for always staying to the end. A lot better than me for sure. But once I'm better, I'll be here for good. And everyone tuning in, like the video, come and support Mo, come and support us, of course, every Sundays, 10 p.m. UK time. And yeah, enjoy the transfer window, guys.
Big up to you, Sadiq. Thank you for making time to be on tonight, guys. Worldwide Chelsea. I don't need to tell you where that channel is. You guys all know where it is. So make sure you're showing your love, your support to Worldwide Chelsea and to Sadiq. And get well soon, brother. Get well soon.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Nee, your choice. If you can only take one. Xavi Simons, Garnacho, and why?
It's easy. It's easy for me. It's easy. I don't have to sweat. I don't have to sweat. I don't have to sweat to get my answer across. It's so easy for me. Alejandro Garnacho all day. Where do I start from? Why? Why would I pick Alejandro Garnacho? Nee, are you crazy? This guy has so much problems. People don't want him. Everyone's against him. Why won't you be against him? No, that's not how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at talent and what we need at the football club. Jamie Gittins is one of the wingers that we have. And from few games that I've seen him against RB Leipzig. I've seen him against AC Milan. I've seen him against Crystal Palace. I've also seen him against, coming up from the bench, against West Ham United. Jamie Gittins is a good player, but hasn't fit in the squad yet. He's still struggling to fit in the squad. He has talent. He can take a man on. He can dribble. But what we need, what we struggled last season as from our wingers, is not getting enough goals. We might see a long period of time before we can get some goals from Jamie Gittins. I still believe, but he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. Looking at the middle of our pitch right now, for what I know, Esteve Williams' preferred position, as he made that statement before he even joined Chelsea, he preferred to play as a number 10. But he is more suitable and does well also as a winger. That's what we all know. But Esteve Williams, we've seen it. Enzo Maresca used him in that 10 role. He made a few mistakes. He will understand it. He's doing that Brazilian flip here and there thing, and it costs us one goal. But I know he will learn from it and keep it a little bit more simple. But we'll see the best from him. He can play in that role. Palmer also can play in that role. So I don't have a problem in that 10 role. Xavi Simons on the left-hand side, to me, it's also going to take him time. Almost about if he's that good and he's that fast to adapt into the way we play in the system, we need competition on that left-hand side. Will Xavi Simons play on that wing all the time? And compare Xavi Simons and Alejandro Garnacho. Which of these two players will easily understand the way we play or ease into the English culture, understand the terrain easier, which I think that it will be Garnacho. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He is a good player. But both players, one is coming from a different league and one is coming from the same league we're leading. Just like I said, it's not a given that although you're from the Premier League, you walk into one club. I don't expect him to be starting, no. But I'm expecting him to challenge our wingers that we have there, which to me, I think that it will be a little more easier for him because of the number of the opposition teams that he faces for the past few years that he has been at Manchester United. He will give much challenge or competition to Jamie Gettins on the left-hand side. We know Pedro can also play on the left-hand side, can play on the right-hand side at the same time, but how many games can Pedro Neto play the whole entire season? We can't rely on Pedro alone. We need someone that can compete 100% with those that we have already. Can Gettins push Pedro Neto? To me, no. It will take him a series of games before he can get to that peak. Alejandro Garnacho, can he? Yes, because he is already there. The physique is there. He is strong. He is fast. What's his name? Simons. Can he do it? I'm not so sure because he's never played in the Premier League. That is where I found it difficult to pick Simons over Gettins. Skillfulness is there, but we have a lot of skillful players in that middle. I know we have Lavia also. He can move forward and do something. We have Palmer also. Also, we have Estavi Williams who can do something, creativity in that midfield. So that's why I pick Alejandro Garnacho over Javi Simons if I have to.
All right. Fair enough. I want to ask this question. And this is slightly changing from the transfer market, but it's also linked. The question is this. We have had a very full-on season. We've had a very full-on preseason with the Club World Cup and then a 2-week break, 2 preseason fixtures, and straight back into the season. We're starting to see players picking up knocks, picking up injuries. Do you guys think our squad is capable, big enough, strong enough to last the season?
Yeah. The only there's a few positions at the moment that are looking light, mainly being the centre back. But we have had Tosin come back now, not serious injury, so he's back. You've got Fofana coming back. So it's looking a bit better, but every position has 2 or 3 players that are in it, and if there's not, there are other players that can fill in those roles. So I do think we have enough to go through. I know the fatigue is definitely going to come into play, but I don't think it's going to come into play now. It will be at the latter stages of the season rather than the first 6 months, I think. You might see it over the Christmas period when we've got like loads of games up till Christmas. But I think we've got enough. If we can bring in Garnacho and Simons, I think we'll be fine. I don't see us having an issue. If we don't, then because then we've got no real especially if George goes as well, then we've got no real backup on the left side for Gittins, and then we're asking Palmer to do the 10 role, and then when he's not fit to replace him with Esteval or João Pedro, but then we're losing a striker and we're losing a right wing. So I think if we get those 2 players in, I think we'll be okay. If we don't, it's definitely going to be a struggle towards the end of the season, I think.
Nee?
Yeah. I think we will be a little short. What would I say short? If we have if our players, let's say the quality that we have on the pitch in the starting 11, if we look at the bench, turn around and look at the bench, do we have the same quality? If they're that very close to what we have on the on our starting 11, then I say, yeah, we can go a long way. Jorgensen, starting from the goalkeeper department, Jorgensen can do a good job in the club and with domestic competitions. He can do a job. But what about the center left, right center back, and then the left center back position and the right back position? We've seen Gerard Hato fielding in that position. We haven't seen much of him. So if Cucurella is not there, maybe you have Hato there. Looking at the level of Cucurella and Hato and Gerard Hato, I think there's a vast difference between them. Experience-wise, yes, he's got a lot of experience, but Premier League experience, I'm not so sure. But he will gain them as time goes on. So that, and it's a centre-back position. Fofana, can we rely on Fofana all season to stay fit for us? I'm not so sure about Wesley Fofana. No, I don't think so. Chalobah, yeah. Chalobah, I believe he's not an injury-prone player. And Tosi also, I can rely on him. But Badishile, no. I can't rely on Badishile either. So a whole season, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Premier League, with this defense that we have, I find it very difficult. But I still believe that we can push about 90% to finish the season with what we have.
All right, fair enough. I just want to double check and see where we are on the likes. I haven't really emphasized on the likes today. I want to have a quick look. Loading. 35 likes. We've had nearly 60 people watching the stream consistently from the beginning. We've only had 35 likes. I am just a little bit disappointed in you lads. Seriously, come on. Listen, show us the support. Tell us you're enjoying the stream. Tell us, something. And you can do that by just clicking that like button. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do. Even if you hit the dislike button.
Comment, and subscribe.
Even if you hit the dislike button, go ahead and do that. Just interact, like, dislike, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Become a member. That's a new thing right now. Become a member. If you haven't, think about it. It's only $2.99 a month, and you'll be doing a massive favor to the channel. It will at least pay for the software that I'm using right now. no,
Smash
for real.
the like button.
Who said that?
Smash the like button.
Easy. Was that Kai?
No, it was me.
Shoot.
I did that for you.
It was you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy with the audio effects, man. Easy with the audio effects. Good off, folks. Big up to you. What are you saying? Because you haven't commented today, so let's have a look at your comment. Having 8 attackers from that advanced section of the pitch isn't overkill. Garnacho, Simmons, Esteban, Neto, Pedro, Palmer, Gittins, and Delap. It would be overkill, really. I think we have got a massive squad. However, I can totally see why we are looking to sell a few before we bring in a few. Because if we look to get Garnacho and Xavi Simmons with Nkunku and Jackson still in the squad, having 2 players of that caliber, sidelined, I think it's bad for business in the future and it's bad for squad morale right now. But yeah, lads, we have been streaming for nearly an hour. I've always intended these streams to be for about an hour. Next Sunday stream is going to be a big one. Next Sunday stream is going to be literally on the verge of deadline day. We are hoping, we are expecting, we are anticipating to see some massive movements in this next week coming. I will be streaming every other night potentially this week, depending on what's happening in the transfer market. We'll be giving you content on a regular basis. You will also get a ton of content on Worldwide Chelsea. He's always streaming. He's always uploading. Behind the Dugouts, Kai's channel. There'll be a lot of content coming out this week. And, transfer deadline day coming up. You get a lot of content on there. Blue Clouds Media, daily streams, a lot of content, a lot of opportunity for you guys to share your thoughts and opinions on that channel as well. Please show your love and your support to all the content creators, especially the ones that are partaking on this channel. It's a community. You guys are part of the community. We are part of the community. Let's help each other out. But yeah, I'll just give a final word to Kai and to Nee before we head out. Kai, any final words before we let you go?
I'll just big up the chat. It's lovely to see all the comments in there. So everyone's really engaged tonight, which is good. Let's see all their opinions. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy week. I feel like every day something's going to be new in regards to just the footballing world in general. In the Premier League, I think it's going to kick off pretty quickly. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun week. It's going to be a busy one.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Exciting week ahead. And guys, don't stress. Yeah. Everything is advancing. It's getting closer. You know,
90% loading.
90% loading, yeah.
No buffering.
No buffering, hopefully.
Yeah.
Final words before we end.
All right, thank you for having me, Mo. And it's nice to see a stream with you guys, Kai and Mo, Sadiq, and also Matt, who's not here today. But yeah, big up to everyone. What I want to say is it's not easy to be a content creator. If you haven't been there before, we'll tell you the truth. Some of you might know, others who don't know what it comes together to create a stream, to come to sit down here and go through these headlines in the news out there. So what we're asking you is, we're not asking a whole lot. It's just support us. Support us by sharing our stream, by subscribing, and also liking our videos. Is a way that you can show your support to our content creators. So please, that's what we're asking. You can find me, Blue Clouds Media, everywhere you go in the social. It's that easy. I don't want to say so much. And thank you very much. Sunday, transfer window, deadline day. It will be a big, as usual. I always stay to 5 to 6 hours on live stream. Yeah, because I make sure even when the window is closed, there's something called deal sheets that goes on. I'll stay in for after an hour when the transfer window closes on my live show to see which deal really went through and which one did not go through. So it's always a pleasure to be live on Blue Lounge YouTube channel to show, talk football.
100%. Guys, if you are tuned in to the content creators on the Blue Lounge, Kai, Matt, Sadiq, Ni, you will not miss a thing. All right, you'll be up to date with all the transfer news, all the details. But yeah, we have got an exciting week coming up. A lot of content coming your way. Please make sure you smash the like button. Please make sure you subscribe to all the content creators that you've seen today. And I want to say a big thank you to every single one of you in the chat. You have been awesome. I see you every week coming in, partaking in the stream. So big up to all of you and thank you all so much. And enjoy the rest of your bank holiday weekend. And I will catch you in the next one. Take care, lads. Have a good one. Stay safe. Peace.
Peace.